Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, my name is Radinda Nashifailanda from English Department Winsus Riau, and now I'm 5th semester. Today I will explain my video in Research and Development in LT with the title Personal Construct in Chapter 20. Before I'm going to talk about my material today, I would like to say thank you to Mr. Nuwardi MED as lecturer in this course. Well, for the first topic, I will explain its definition of personal construct. Personal construct is the basic units of analysis in a complete and formally stated theory of personality proposed by George Kelly in his book with the title The Psychology of Personal Construct in 1955. Kelly's primary focus is on the way individuals perceive their environment, the way they interpret what they perceive in terms of their existing mental structure, and the way in which, as a consequence, they behave toward it. Kelly, in 1955, proposes that each person has access to a limited number of constructs, by means of which he or she evaluates the phenomena that constitute her world. These phenomena include people, events, objects, ideas, institutions, and etc., are known as elements. Kelly further suggests that the construct that each of us employs may be thought of a bipolar, that is, capable of being defined in terms of bipolar adjectives, good or polar process, make me feel happy, make me feel sad. The method suggested by Kelly of analyzing construct and assessing the mathematical relationship between them, that is repertory grid. Repertory grid is an interviewing technique which uses non-parametric factor analysis to determine an idiographic measure of personality. A grid can be constructed by asking the subject to place each element at either the similarity or the contrast pole of each construct. Let X one pole of the construct and blank the other. The result can be set out as follows. The two essential characteristics identify construct, the dimension used by a person in conceptualizing aspect of his or her world, and elements, the stimulus object that a person evaluates in terms of the construct she employs. As Kelly writes, people differ from each other in their construction or events. A listed versus provide construct. A central assumption of the standard form of a repertory grid is that it enables the researcher to elicit construct that subjects customarily use in interpreting and predicting the behavior of those people who are important in their lives. Expert opinion about these two constructs. First, Francella and Bannister on elicited versus supplied construct as a grid-generated problem. Bannister and Mayer support the use of supplied construct in experiments where hypotheses have been formulated and those involving group comparison. Alerting elements to construct. In alerting elements to construct have three methods. First, the split half form requires the subject to place half the elements at the similarity pole of each construct by instructing the subject to decide which element most markedly show the characteristics specified by each of the construct. Second, rank order form, as its name suggests, requires the subject to rank the elements from the one which most markedly exhibit the particular characteristic to the one which least exhibited. And the last, rating form. Here, the subject requires to judge each element on a 7-point or a 5-point scale. For example, absolutely beautiful 7 to absolutely ugly 1. Laddering and pyramid construction. The technique known as laddering arises out of Hinkel's in 1965 important revision of the theory of personal construct and the method employed in his research. Hinkel's concern was for the location of any construct within an individual construct system, arguing that a construct has differential implication within a given hierarchical context. That is laddering up, where there is progression from subordinate to superordinate construct. The reverse process, superordinate to subordinate, is laddering down, asking, for example, how the respondent knows that such and such a construct applies to a particular person. Hinkel in 1965 went on to develop an implication grid or imp grid in which the subject is required to compare each of its construct with every other to see which implies the others. The question why is asked over and over again to identify the position of any construct in an individual's hierarchical construct system. Grid administration and analysis. The example of grid administration and analysis outlined below employs the split half method of allocating elements to construct and a form of anchor analysis devised by Bannister in 1970. Procedures in grid administration. Draw up a grid measuring 16 elements by 15 construct as in box 20.1, writing along the top the names of the elements but first inserting the additional elements, sub. Alongside the rows, write in the construct poles. A grid in which each intersection or cell is defined by a particular column, element, and a particular row construct. The administration takes the form of allocating every element on every construct. For example, your first construct is kind crawl. Allocate each element in turn on that dimension, putting a cross in the appropriate box if you consider that person element kind, or leaving it blank if you consider that person crawl. Make sure that half of the elements are designated kind and half crawl. Every element must be allocated in this way, and half the elements must always be allocated to the left-hand pole. Procedures in grid analysis. The grid might be regarded as a reflection of conceptual structure in which constructs are linked by virtue of their being applied to the same person elements. The linkage is measured by a process of matching construct rows. To estimate the linkage between construct 1 and 2 in box 20.4, for example, count the number of matches between corresponding boxes in each row. A match is counted where the same element has been designated with a cross or a blank on both constructs. So, for construct 1 and 2 in box 20.4, we count 6 such matches. By chance, we will expect 8 out of 16 matches, and we may subtract this from the observed value to arrive at an estimate of such deviation from chance. Non-metric method of grid analysis make no assumption about the linearity of relationship between the variables and the factors. Moreover, where the researcher is primarily interested in the relationship between elements, multidimensional scaling may prove a more useful approach to the data than principal components analysis. Strength of repertory grid technique. Repertory grid is, of course, especially suitable for the exploration of relationship between an individual's personal construct, as the studies of Foster and Niemeyer in 1992. Repertory grid is equally adaptable to the problem of identifying changes in individuals that occur as a result of some educational experience. Difficulties in the use of repertory grid technique. Some difficulties is difficulty related to the question of bipolarity in the form of the grid in which customarily only one pole of the construct is used. And here, a number of practical problems commonly experienced in writing grid are identified by York in 1978. First, variable perception of elements of low personal relevance. Second, varying the last context in which the elements are perceived during the administration of the grid. And last, halo effect intruding into the reading where the subject sees the grid matrix building up. Some example of the use of repertory grid in educational research. Three examples of the use of personal construct in education have to do with course evaluation, albeit though less directly than the other. The first study employs the triadic sorting procedure that Kelly in 1955 suggests in his original work. The second illustrates the use of sophisticated interactive software in the elicitation and analysis of personal construct. And the third concerns the changing roles of primary head teacher. While the study found an increase in the management activities one construct, it also found that not only did their changing role not lead to their professionalization, but also the course values were rooted in their values in and views of education. A second construct, the subordinate construct for the primary head teacher were centered and management. Next, grid technique and audio or video lesson recording. Parson in 1983 show how grid technique in audio or video recordings of teacher work in classroom can be used to make explicit the implicit models that teachers have of how children learn. 14 children were randomly selected, and on this basis of individuals' photographs, triadic comparisons were made to elicit construct concerning one teacher's ideas about the similarities and differences in the manner in which these children learned. In addition, extensive observation of the teacher's classroom behavior were undertaken under naturalistic conditions, and verbatim recording audio and video were made for future review and discussion between the teacher and the researcher at the end of each recording session. Focus grid, nonverbal grids, exchange grid, and socio grids. First, focusing a grid assists in the interpretation of raw grid data. Each element is compared with every other element, and the ordering of elements in the grid is changed so that those most alike are clustered most closely together. Second, physical objects can be used as elements as grid elicitation is then carried out in nonverbal terms. Next, exchange grids are procedures developed to enhance the quality of conversational exchange. Basically, one person considering provides the format for an empty grid, which is offered to another person for completion. The second person is then invited to test his comprehending of the first person's point of view by filling in the grid as they believe the other has already completed. Various computer programs, pairs, course, and difference are available to assist analysis of the process of negotiation elicited and exchange grids. In pairs analysis, all constructs in one grid are compared with all constructs in the other grid, and measure of communality in construing is determined. Pair analysis leads on to socio grids, in which the pattern of relationship between the grid of one group can be identified. Next, the software program focus provides other cluster analysis, dendrograms, construct, and elements. Concept mapping using repertory grid with computer assistance, example CMAP, is developing and its use reported by MC Loughlin. Principal components analysis, cluster analysis, and dendritic analysis can be performed with the software Enquire within, as well as more widely known software such as SPSS. Well, I think that's all my presentation and explanation about personal construct by George Kelly in 1955. Sorry for my mistake. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.